Good day, Local 163 Romulus family. I'm your shop chairman, Cleo Long. This is the shop committee. We got Terrence Adams, Dale Dupuy, Daniel Ryder, Pete Potts. Just to give y'all a little recap of some of the things we talked about today at our local union meeting. It's actually our unit meeting because we have a general membership meeting as well. So today we covered, let's start with first and most important, Proverbs 31, verse 8 and 9. I'll let you Google it, look it up, and those are the Bible experts. You already know what I'm talking about. We also covered the plant tour that our regional director may be coming in next month. We covered trades. Pete's going to cover that. We covered division and seniority. We covered the parking lots. We also covered the car voucher. You will have to talk to someone that was here to get the details on that. Also, we covered profit sharing, VCAP. We covered the podcast that we are currently on and our total head count for the plant. That's just a brief of some of the things that we go over at our unit meeting. I'm gonna step aside and let Terrence Adams give you some of the things that he went over.
All right, how you doing? My name is Terrence Adams, and I'm just going to go over a couple of things. I discussed the arts. I also discuss the things that's going on in the plant with union on union. I discussed the experience that I had at Flint Engine. Also discuss one of the most important questions asked is overtime. How does it go? Does it go by low hours get you in, so you already get the job? So what I did talk about it on that fact is that low hours get you in. When you get in, it's not necessarily that seniority gets you the job. What I mean by that is that supervision has the right to dictate the jobs, meaning that just because you're high seniority, the low hour person could know the job that the higher seniority person knows, and that could be the only job. So that's why that would X out in some instances, unless we just allow the teams dictate what they would like. But it's always come to some instance where a person in that team don't know all the jobs, but they might have the low hours. So I will pass it on to Dan Ryder.
Hello, everybody. A brief recap of what I covered was FMLA process of calling off, and that was just to follow the process all the way through till you get to Sedgwick and confirmation number. Also, you can check with Sedgwick when you call for your available hours at FMLA and how many hours you may need to get your FMLA. So just because you're approved doesn't mean you have the hours to take it off. The shoe voucher, I see a lot of people have been using the shoe voucher. I think we're at about 50 to 60% of the plant. Don't forget the balances that you may have. If you get a pair of shoes and it costs, say, $100, that means you have a $50 balance that you can use. So absolutely use up all of your $150. You can use it on socks. You can use the rest on insoles. The shoe truck will be back in the plant December 16th and December 17th. The 16th, it'll be here from 3 a.m. to 12 p.m. and the 17th, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Also went over a couple of some of our local agreement demands that we won with the local agreement. And I'll just go over a brief couple of those where the new computer lab that we'll be having is under construction. Our local agreements are due to be printed soon. Just waiting on proofread and approval from local management. And sanitizers stations are at all the entrances. And then I think I also covered expectant mother and veteran parking spots, 2 of each at each entrance of the plant. And with that, I'll pass it on to Pete Potts.
Local 163, hi. I just wanted to thank everybody for supporting veterans on Veterans Day. I also talked about skilled trade layoffs, none happening, none in the future, none in the foreseeable future. As of right now, there will be no skilled trade layoffs. HCC usage for vacation scheduling, just want to make sure that everyone is aware that that is not accurate. So please know your balances from your vacations before you take off. A lot of people are out of vacations, because it's at the end of the year. So just know what you have in vacation balances before you take off, please. Also, the high feature V6 team members who want to work on the GRX side for overtime purposes, there is a sign up, and it is being done by Job Knowledge First. And that's pretty much all I covered. I just wanted to say I'm proud of everyone for all the work that they're doing to make the future of Romulus what it is right now. Thank you.
Good morning. So I talked about a couple of things. First, I talked about the dependent child for schooling. You get $1,600 per year. You have to initiate it 30 days prior to the start of your child's education for that year. And then I also talked about how third shift employees working before the holiday, how they get double time. I spoke on coming up on Thursday with it being Thanksgiving. Wednesday, anybody that comes in early on Wednesday or stays over on Wednesday, the last 4 hours would be double time. So also talked about if you come in on second shift the day before the holiday, anytime you punch in on the day before the holiday and punch out the day before the holiday, that is double time hours for anybody that comes in on second shift. I also talked about the fact that third shift, you have to punch in the day before and then punch out on the day for working on the holiday. And then if you end up working on the actual holiday for the full 8 hours, those hours are not double time. They are straight time until you get 40 hours, which then would be converted to time and a half. All right, thanks.
Appreciate it, Dale. So as you see, we started at roughly 7:15 a.m. and we wrapped it up around 9 o'clock. The union meeting ran long because there were members here that had questions that we were able to answer. This is actually our private meeting. So we're just recapping some of the things, but we go into more detail. The members that's here, they have a lot of questions, they get answered. And just want to say this podcast that John Carter created for us at Local 163 is doing a great job. It's reaching the members that cannot make it here. But this is not to encourage people not to come and wait for a recap. No, you need to be here at the meeting to get the full details and to voice your concerns and to use your vote, because this is where if there's an MOU or something that needs to be implemented, it goes through the membership. And if you're not here to add your vote, it'll go through the members that's here. Also, I want to say thank you to the local for keeping this place open for us to do these podcasts, run our union meetings. We got I think it's a breakfast or lunch with Santa coming up next month on December 6th from 12 to 3. A lot of stuff going on. I encourage people to get more involved with their local. This is where we make things happen. Thank you, and have a good day.